Welcome everybody. We're going to do solarization today. We're obviously going to do it the digital way. It derives from the darkroom, where you will do a sort of second exposure to your darkroom print while it's developing in the chemistry, or indeed outside the chemistry, and then you'll redevelop it and you'll get a kind of sort of positive, negative effect over the print. Look up people like Man Ray. They were sort of innovators of doing solarization, or indeed Erwin Blumenfeld. Anyway, without further ado, this is the finished version of the solarized effect. Here's the original. It's very easy to do. We're going to do it the automatic way and we're going to do it the manual way. So for the automatic way, obviously open up any image, make sure it's black and white. If it's not already, go to Image, Mode, Grayscale. Hit Discard if you get any pop-up windows come up. And then all you do is you go to the Filter, in the Filter menu, Filter, Stylize, and then Solarize. And that's it. Okay, so that's the automatic way. But hey, where's the fun in that when I can't teach you the manual way in which to do it? The manual way is what Photoshop does, obviously behind the scenes. We're going to do it now. So I'm just going to go back in my history, go to Open, and I'll show you how Photoshop does it behind the scenes. So what you'll do essentially is to duplicate the background layer. So I'm going to drag it to the new layer icon here. So we've got two duplicate layers. I'm going to click on the background layer, and I'm going to make this negative. So I'm going to go to I'm just going to press Command or Control I on my keyboard, or I can go to Image, Adjustments, and Invert. Okay, so I've got a positive on the top, and I've got a background negative layer. And all you do, you click on background copy, and you'll choose darken. And there you go, darken blending mode. And that merges a positive and a negative together using blending modes. But the great thing about the manual mode is that you can change the effect by using different adjustment layers. So I'm on darken at the moment, but I'm going to arrow down on my keyboard. You can do this on a PC, and I can basically change the blending mode to different blending modes to get different solarized effects. So I'm on screen here. Some of them obviously won't work. I'm on lighter color here. And the great thing about this is you can actually customize this effect using levels or shadows and highlights. So here's a hard light one, and they're all varying degrees of solarization. Here's pin light, which is even more bizarre. And here's difference. I'm going to go back to, let's say, pin light, or let's go back to the original one here, which is darken, which is the one I told you to do in the first place. Okay, and what you can do here is I'm going to use I could use levels here, so I could go to the half black, half white circle and choose levels. And what I can do in the histogram here is I can use either the shadow point, the midtone points, or the highlight point values, and basically you can adjust these to whatever effect you want to do, really. So I could say maybe slightly lighten up with the midtones, but I'm going to get on the shadow point and darken those for a bit more of a sort of contrasty solarization effect. It's totally up to you what you want to do here. That's one way of obviously messing around with the solarization effect. The other way, as I say, is to use shadows and highlights. So on this background copy layer, I can go to Image, Adjustments, Shadows and Highlights. Just going to move this out of the way. And for those who haven't used shadows and highlights, you really want to move the amount sliders on the shadows and highlights first, and maybe end up with a mid-tone slider at the bottom. But on the shadow amount, you can, here we go, you can adjust that. I'm going to take it down a little bit. On the highlight amount, I can bring that up. It's pretty much going back to where it was, really. Here's the mid-tone value that I can adjust. So it's up to you, really, how you want to vary these. Okay, when you're finished, press OK, and there you go. There's two different ways, using levels and using shadows and highlights, to vary your solarized image. Thanks very much, guys. See you on the next edit. Bye bye.